Hello and welcome back to DMV Rivals Winter 2026. Sorry for the slight technical difficulties. Um, yeah, we're midway through the game. So far, it looks like I have to change. Take it away, Shiv, for a second.
Okay, and we pick up on the action after missing 6.5 minutes because the lead client is a very well put together machination. And it's looking very, very good for Hectic and Kelly down here in the bot lane. 4-0 already on the Unara. It's already a 2k gold lead for the side of We Heckin' 1. And taking stock across the board, also good stuff so far. Looking like for fire on the Ignite Renekton top. Of course, the top lane quest has enabled some of these more aggressive rune choices as Hectic now getting aggressive in the bot side with that level 6 procced. It's time to transcend and it's time for another kill as Jared Blue is going to try to trade something back, fourth shot in the chamber, but there's just too much damage out of Hectic. Barriers popped on both sides. Final W is not enough. Almost a 2v2 double kill for the Unara.
Yeah, the Yunara might already be 5-0. We're not quite sure what kind of happened to set that up, but definitely not looking great for the side of Knights Radiant. As I imagine their bot lane will continue to struggle as this Yunara gets ahead, but Tavern Drunk up here.
And the brand trying to get something done, bouncing around that Pyroclasm, getting the stun. Renekton, though, healing a lot, almost able to turn it back. The adaptive shield comes up just in time for McPherson to live, but it is still a kill on the top side. Now Sparky's could be in danger. Ziki here on the Mundo going to pop the dosage, and I don't know if he even needed it because the Night Stun damage helps out. Now 8 kills to the side of We Heckin' 1.
Yeah, and looks like the first dragon will also be going over towards Icky, as Tavern Drunk will be opting in for the grubs instead. Yeah, so far we do see Yunara already has completed the Kraken Slayer. So 8 minutes in, I mean, obviously a very nice item to have. I think at this point, I guess it either has to be Tavern Drunk or Human McPherson to kind of be able to get onto the Yunara and one-shotter. That is one option you always have. Yeah, I mean, it's looking kind of grim.
Yeah, it's of course going to be difficult through the Seraphine healing as well, but a fantastic start for Hectic down here. Also, very nice lead for Nightstone in the mid lane. Doesn't have the same solo kills as his teammates, but he is up 30 CS here in the Orianna Ari matchup. Having a wonderful time. We do at
Yeah,
least see some completed items as the Leandries comes through for Tavern Drunk, who is running the Ghost on the Brand jungle.
yeah, I think that's a fairly common choice. You guys dish out damage and then try to run away while you outspace your opponent. In this case, it looks like Havoc opted in for taking Ignite with the Ari. Nightstone also opting in for Barrier, so neither of them actually have taken TP. As top lane, getting a bit spicy.
Oh, Spirit Rush in the mid lane. Havoc gets the Ignite down with the tower shots. He's going to be able to finish the job. The Ignite comes in just as we pointed out for the solo.
Yeah, really nice charm placement from Havoc. The fact that he got the extra turret shot actually looks like Icky will try to go for a cleaver, but Havoc, still having the flash available, does get out of there. But yeah, we saw the charm go right into the turret shot, just offered that little tiny bit of extra damage past the barrier as a person will be
Person needs to be
waddling
careful.
away.
There's a dominance here on this Renekton. Gonna think twice about taking that long range hook shot in. Trading the flash for the Renekton ult. Not quite worth it for the Camille.
Yeah, but if you look at the state of top lane right now, I mean, Human McPherson will have a pushing, never mind.
Oh,
Wow.
that's a lot of damage onto the Seraphine, who just pops to the plants. Maybe this bot lane for Knights Radiant is going to get some tempo going, but here comes Hectic with the ultimate into the bush. The Jhin cannot survive, and even when they get the first kill, it's the Yunara getting 2.
Yeah, honestly, I was not surprised. I'm surprised that Knights Radiant opted in for that. The fact that Yunara was a 5-0. But that was honestly really close. Like, this is a Swifty's boots. Okay, hold on.
Oh, well, there's no dominance up there for
Yep.
the Renekton, so Tavern Drunk letting his bot lane maybe go to the flames here, but at least spreading his own flames up in the top side.
Yeah, I was gonna say that, I mean, Blue was sitting on Swifty Boots plus Pickaxe when they made that play versus the Kraken Slayer Yunara, so the fact that they were able to one-shot Kelly just immediately, I think, is really impressive despite their really big gold deficit. And meanwhile, mid lane, Nightstone, despite getting solo killed, will be having a bit of a nicer time into Havoc, the strong health lead.
Now, I'm curious if off of this, we're going to see, yep, Triforce completed for the Camille. So she has kind of buoyed herself over what was going to be a pretty rough early start. Renekton still maybe a bit favored with those steel caps, with the Ignite on his tail, but Camille definitely in a relatively comfortable position. And we also see something interesting in the mid lane as it is Gunblade on Havoc's Ari. Oh, we'll maybe hold this thought as Cleaver hits onto Sparky's, drops down the Strangled Thorns, and now here comes a curtain call. Looking for Havoc, looking for Kelly, anyone, as Tavern Drunk's getting the ult, bouncing a lot of damage from the brand, drops the Seraphine. So even where we Hack and One are super strong, Tavern Drunk's still able to burn them down.
Yeah, well played. I mean, Nice Radiant is getting stuff in return, despite, honestly, just how strong Hectic is in the bot lane. Top lane, we're going to be seeing this a lot with just Human McPherson going for a quick E, and then looking to get out before Fire can really return any damage. But yeah, I mean, we have to see Human McPherson and Havoc get strong, get a lot of burst, to be able to damage, I guess, this Yunara and try to one-shot her before she's out putting that damage. So that Gunblade might often do a lot of work.
Oh, here comes the Encore. They hit Tavern Drunk, and that brand is not going to be able to do much here. It's Hectic now, maybe under duress, but Jared Blue doesn't have enough damage. Now trying to get back in with the W. It's not enough. Fourth shot in the chamber, and it's going to be a kill for Jared Blue. Deadly Flourish connects. He's just outside of tower range. He plays it beautifully, but now Nightstone is here to clean up the mess. It's 2 kills for the Orianna. And now that clockwork in the mid lane is looking quite good as Havoc is now maybe in trouble. Icky has already gotten on top of him, and this Ari is probably going to at least be forced to ult. If anything, flash forward from the Mundo. Okay, not sure I expected that to ever happen in this game, but it's a solo kill for Icky.
Yeah, I can't tell if it was a spectator bug, but I mean, Havoc just opted into not using the Spirit Rush. Don't quite know what happened there. Well, I'll just assume it's a spectate bug. Yeah, but otherwise, this dragon has been started. I mean, Havoc is down, so I imagine it'll be pretty free for the side of We Heckin' One. As we see both Seraphine and Icky start moving their way up. That being said, Tavern Drunk is in the area. It's top lane, once again. This Triforce Camille is doing a lot of work.
Yeah, starting to crest over there for Human McPherson, but you're right. Dragon going to be under the control of We Heckin' One. Be kind of disappointed, but actually a late TP from the Camille. Big question whether Dragon well and truly gone, but now maybe there's a play to be made on the Orianna. Jukes away from the Pillar of Fire. Now needs to evade some curtain calls, but the flash is expanded. Doesn't get hit. Double Shockwave gets the kill onto Sparky's, but the final shot of the curtain call means Jared Blue collects the shutdown.
Yeah, and with the Camille taping down, now Fire has his own kind of devices, is able to go up there towards the top lane turret. Looks like the side of Knights Radiant still wants this. They're kind of ignoring the Mundo as now they could even press horns. Icky. Hectic's here, 7-0.
Oh, but Human McPherson wants to take the fight right to him. He's got the Hextech ultimate and Precision Protocol. Not enough for a kill, and Human McPherson overestimates his damage. Jared Blue at least able to step up and get that kill, but now he's in a rough spot as the Mundo is going to beat him down. 3-0-2 for Icky's Mundo.
Yeah, I mean, at the end of this, I think it's fairly even. We Heckin' One got the dragon, got a few kills for themselves as well, but the fact that they're able to shut down this Yunara is quite nice. We saw Human McPherson, despite only having 1 kill with that Triforce, is able to kind of almost one-shot the Yunara if you're able to land the hook shot. So we'll see as the game progresses whether Hectic, has that fancy footwork, is able to kind of dodge out of these situations. As looks like mid lane turret being kind of under pressure. As Nightstone and Kelly find their own way here. It looks like it will be another free turret going over to the side of We Heckin' 1.
Yeah, I definitely would not have assumed the mid lane tower would be the first to drop on the red side when we first caught this game with a 4-0 Yunara 5 minutes in, but they've got enough to stem. They got enough to stem the bleeding down in that bot side. Still, Night's Dawn also got a bunch of advantage in that mid lane. We do have Herald on the map, and with no TP on Human McPherson or the Ori, or to be fair, the Orianna, curious to see how any fight over that objective is going to play out.
Yeah, if you told me that the game started out with Hectic getting 5 kills on Yunara, I would have assumed that the gold lead would be really significant, but if you look at it, actually Blue somehow is only 100 gold behind, probably got like a 1000 gold shutdown off of the kill onto Hectic. So both ADCs are quite strong. I mean, you have the Infinity Force, Infinity Edge, whoops, Infinity Edge Collector, pretty evenly matched with the Kraken down there. It's like both teams will be wandering towards this Herald, but Tavern's not in the area. I think they're kind of just scouting it out. Fire LaFleur kind of wants to fight with the team around.
Yeah, has the Stride Breaker and the ulti. This is a nice opportunity for Renekton to really want to fight, and looks like the side of Knights Radiant trying to make a play on the bot side. Oh, just barely hits that Pillar of Flame, and now the Rylai's is going to set up the stun, set up the kill. Tavern Drunk getting it done on the Brand, but the side of We Heckin' 1 moving through the enemy jungle. And trying to take stuff away on the top side. McPherson missing the hook shot. Now maybe in a bit of danger as Conqueror's procced up. Dominance user Renekton, and there's just fights all over the Rift. The Herald is crashing in mid. Kelly soaks up the curtain call shots, assuming McPherson actually does hit the stun, but Renekton more than healthy enough at this point. It is a good bit of fighting, but still just the Ori dead, and the mid lane tower likely to fall here as well. But now Tavern Drunk trying to re-enter. Hits a nice W onto Hectic, and that Yunara cannot play up next to the Brand. JR Blue now trying to chase in even more. Hits the auto onto Kelly, but it's not enough to kill. Tavern Drunk now with the Ghost on the prowl. They zone away and kill down the Seraphine. And now the Mundo is stranded and killed. And after a disastrous bot lane, JR Blue and Tavern Drunk are doing all they can. They're going to get this mid tower.
Yeah, well played from Knights Radiant. I want to say it was a pretty long sequence. This all started off from the Herald, where it looks like We Heckin' 1 had 4 members up there, so with the numbers advantage, just easily were able to grab it. And that prompted Knights Radiant to try to make a cross-map play. So we saw Tavern Drunk kind of path all the way down to bot lane, pick out Night's Dawn. And then that triggered another play where We Heckin' 1, seeing that there's 2 members bot side, put the Herald mid, try to force Knights Radiant over there. But I think they may have overstayed their welcome just a tiny bit since Tavern Drunk was able to get that reset. And then another 3 kills going over towards them. The gold has, for the more or less, is now somehow in Knights Radiant favor. So we have a messy one here.
Yeah, I will say we highlighted kind of initially in draft that we like the side of We Heckin' 1 in the straight 5v5s. I feel like they are relatively content to have their Yunara, Seraphine, Orianna, Mundo be on even footing with everyone on the enemy team going into big 5-on-5 team fights. I don't think they wanted a fed Brand as Hectic gets way too aggressive. Human McPherson is there in the flank, and now the fed Yunara is not on the Rift for this dragon fight. Pyroclasm goes out as Fire and Icky trying to just find some safety in the pit, but the curtain call is going to rain on down. Stranglethorns keep Mundo in the pit. He is killed off. Not sure if he was able to grab the dragon through all of that, but it is definitely a fight win for Knights Radiant.
Yeah, I think a bit of miscommunication there, as looks like Knights Radiant wanted to go for the Baron. But yeah, I mean, Hectic, actually Flash Charm, Night's Dawn, not long for the world here, will be taken down. As they will opt in for the Baron, I think it's going to be free for them. But yeah, I think Hectic wanted to go for that mid-wave, try to get it high, but the rest of his team is just not there to follow, so I think they're trying to contest the dragon, try to get some vision down, so maybe a bit of miscommunication there. Fire LaFleur kind of wandering around here, seeing if he can do anything, but he's just a lonely croc, and it will be Baron going over to the side of Knights Radiant.
Yeah, it's now a 4K gold lead for the side of Knights Radiant. This Brand is getting very, very scary. I imagine after this clear, he's going to be able to finish his third item there. And, when the Unara gets fed like that, just those little bits of miscommunication where they're not communicating how she's going to enter fights, when she's going to be in fights, can it be disastrous? And we mentioned in draft that the 131 is going to be a PowerPoint for the side of Knights Radiant, and now they have the Baron to really amp that up.
Yeah, I mean, we have the Camille, who is quite strong at this point. 2 items. And then you also see Havoc in the bot lane. On the Ahri, has 2 items. Almost complete the Shadow Flame. We'll just be pushing it with the Baron, and they will be opting in for this 1-3-1, Tavern Drunk, kind of hovering around the Camille, making sure she's safe, as they can look for some damage onto this tier 2. And you'll see, the side of blue team, they will start being pulled away. Actually, Fire in a bit of trouble.
Yeah, he's getting lit on fire here by the Brand, and Human McPherson able to sweep in, finish the job. Now double root onto the enemy bot lane. Unara trying to loop around, try to contribute, but his support is already dead. Mundo soon to follow. No amount of dosage is going to heal him up enough there. Now Current Call to try to seal the job onto Hectic. Tavern Drunk gets Shockwave, but he doesn't care. He just goes in, blows up the Unara. May die at a Night's Dawn. It's a bit messy, but Night's Dawn is the lone surviving member. And may just get another kill onto Human McPherson, who's going to hit a tactical sweep, gets the adaptive shield, and actually Human McPherson able to fend off the Orianna. Sparkus and Jerry Blue able to get the mid tower.
Yeah, you can kind of see what happens when the side of WHW they kind of spread a bit thin. When initially what started off as Fire LaFleur getting picked out in a 1v2. Looks like both Hectic and Icky, Kelly want to respond, try to get to the top side, but the fact that they had so much vision up there, Knights Radiant was able to just collapse on them and take a free fight. I like Tavern Drunk, kind of just went for the tower dive, full commit, just taking up the entire turret damage. Yeah, I mean, another couple picks for them, and we'll have to see with this next dragon coming up soon, in a minute 45, whether the side of WHW is able to go for that 5-on-5.
Yeah, if you're the side of WHW, how committed are you to trying to fight this dragon as you feel the game kind of slipping away? And, maybe that Infernal Soul, you can just get in the pit, could be your opportunity.
I mean, to be honest, at this point, like, let's say Camille's pushing your top inhib. I'm down just to let that go and go for this 5-on-5 or 5v4. At this, you kind of just have to force a fight and try to pull the Camille and the Ahri away from the side lanes, just so they minimize your damage to your structures. So it's kind of on them to kind of make a play here mid. Hectic, I like that he's playing really far up here, trying to get some pressure. And yeah, it's kind of on them to just go for the snap engage, maybe a Seraphine ult, maybe or Orianna Shockwave as a fight, maybe breaks out.
That Shockwave's going to Brand, but it's the Unara under a whole lot of duress on the backside. Charm hits, but Brand has already done his job. He hit all his buttons, so Icky's going to try to hunt him down, and he won't even be able to get him. Kelly dies on the backside as Havoc's already getting some resets. Hectic try to transcend, but he just gets a Glock popped on him by Jera Blue. Tavern Drunk may fall to fire, but it does not matter. Night's Dawn once again the lone survivor.
Yeah, I mean, Night's Dawn did get a Shockwave at the beginning, and they did get 2 kills onto Tavern Drunk and Human McPherson, but the rest of the fight, I mean, Hectic just got 4-shot from half HP and just immediately blew up. So I think after that, the fight just kind of was done. But yeah, Dragon will be spawning in 7 seconds. Both junglers are not on the map. Icky is actually respawning a bit earlier before Tavern Drunk, so there might be a chance we get another fight here. As looks like WHW, I mean, they're just barreling down. They're ignoring this mid and bot wave. You can see TP coming in from Human McPherson, so once again.
Oh, but they may find a catch here as Kelly just gets pecked away by those little plants. Now Night's Dawn trying to enter, whiffs the Shockwave in a bit of desperation. Human McPherson able to easily get away. Charm connects, and Havoc gets some revenge for how rough that laning phase was. His team now firmly in the driver's seat.
Yeah, you can feel how bad they want this dragon. I think Night's Dawn, just with his movement, really trying to go for that Shockwave, make a really quick play so that they can maybe contest this dragon. Thinking that maybe Night's Radiant has already started it. So yeah, maybe a bit overforced. And that will be Night's Radiant getting their first dragon of the game, Infernal. as Baron spawning in 45 seconds. You see both teams trying to move towards their top side. And Knights Radiant doing a nice job, just kind of pressuring off the Mundo. Icky can't exactly walk in without more people behind his back. 4 members though.
Is was it time for a world war over the blue buff? A survey says no. So just some camps going the way of Tavern Drunk. Is now a 10k gold lead. Side of actually we're gonna have a fight here. As Havoc gets the Gunblade, still trying to blow up the Seraphine, and they do just that. Now it's a curtain call in onto Hectic, and he is not gonna be able to do much about that. Tavern Drunk now on the warpath alongside Human McPherson. As Fire trying to get on in there with the dominance, getting on top of the brand. They do just that. They take him down. Shockwave is nice on the backside to get 2, but there just isn't enough damage coming out. The Mundo is killed. Nightstone in a 1v4. And I don't think he's going to do much to stop the Knights Radiant from ending this game.
Yeah, we heckin' won. You had a really nice try. I think the fact that you had a 5-0 Yunara really speaks for something, but they weren't able to transition it. Human McPherson going for a few more picks. I don't
Oh,
think
and the
Haley will
Seraphine just
belong
gets
to the
caught
world.
again. It's going to be an interesting VOD review when you look at how this game started. Maybe we
Wait, it's
cursed
not
it.
over.
The game went completely south, but Jared Blue gets a few more shots into Nightstone. The Nexus does go down as Human McPherson stands tall, and it's going to be a game 1 win for Knights Radiant.
Yeah, really well played there. And I just really have to question, I mean, amazing performance from Knights Radiant. The fact that you were able to overcome this 5-0 Yunara and then almost reverse the ADC gold lead with Blue ending off 18-5. I think that's really impressive and speaks to kind of their map movement and map play. Um, but yeah, I think if you're We Heckin' One, I think you gotta look back from that point of view where you had that 5-0 Yunara, you had a really nice advantage and setup for her. So maybe just getting a bit more kind of like jungle pressure down there, extending the lead, could do them a favor in the next game.
Yeah, I'm curious to see how they mentally handle this kind of game that felt like just from the just from the go, right? That they were able to get that big lead, get the UNR in a great position, but unable to convert it really in the mid game. Feeling really good on the other side for Knights Radiant. We'll see if they can clean it up with a 2-0 as we look to get into second game.
Yeah, we'll be right back in just a moment. And welcome back to DMV
Welcome.
Rivals. Oh, Winter 2026
Brilliant,
as we're
brilliant.
already into draft, so I'll have to go straight there.
Welcome
And
back. We've got game number 2 between Knights Radiant, Weehawken 1. Knights Radiant with a bit of a steal in that game number 1. Things were going pretty rough in the early phase, but Tavern Drunk on the brand provided the deeps and they were able to make a comeback of sorts. We'll see how each team's mental is holding up after that first game. We do lead off with the Scion first pick for Knights Radiant, responded to by the best top laner, apparently, in the Varus.
yeah, I mean, we did see Fire LaFleur pick this out last time in week 1, so we'll see if this goes a bit better. It does have the percent HP damage, so fairly good pick into Scion. We'll see if he goes attack speed or
Oh,
lethality. As Amumu now being locked in.
that's definitely a different one from the
Yeah, I'm not
side
quite
of
sure where that's
Weehawken
going.
1.
It could be jungle, it could be support. A couple different options. As
We
Gwen.
are going to see Knights Radiant go with the Gwen. Looking through here, and Stiver down in the bottom lane.
So I think there's two kind of ideas behind the Gwen pick. Not only is it a really strong jungler right now, Tavern Drunk is able to will probably be able to kind of farm it out and be a really strong pick towards the mid and late game. But it's also a takeaway pick. Nightstone is quite proficient on this champion. Last week even pulled it out in the mid lane, I believe. And so that's kind of been a staple pick for him. So it's also taking it away from Nightstone, as the rest of the draft is coming in through Sivir and Nami being picked. And I guess we don't quite know yet where this Varus is going.
Yeah, could definitely be a strong combo there in the bot lane, or that kind of counter pick in the Scion top side. May get some clarity based on these bans. For now, just trying to throw out some engaged supports that can pair with the Sivir. So no Rel. I mean, the engaged supports are fine. They're always fine. We tend to just see Sivir paired, be pretty flexible with who she's paired with. And sometimes see a Bard, sometimes an Enchanter, sometimes engaged. So we'll see how Knights Radiant want to go about it.
Yeah, I think some support bans coming in through. I think Rel is definitely one of the strongest supports on the patch for those melee support options. As MF actually being banned, so it looks like Nice Radiant, they're kind of sniffing around. They think it's going to be the Varus top, so another Lucian ban as well. So I think they're quite committed into thinking that Weehawken 1 is still missing their bot lane pick. And we'll see if they kind of show their hand here, if this is going to be a Varus ADC or a Varus top lane on this 4th slot.
Yeah, a lot of stuff pinching away at the mid lane as well this time. There is stuff like the Syndra still available, but it's instead going to be Smolder. I was getting excited initially because I was thinking like maybe it's Smolder mid, but no. It's probably just Smolder bot still for the side of Weehawken 1.
Yeah, I think you see Sivir on the other side. You can kind of play a more scaling champion, and in this case, they're kind of opting both for that late game scaling. That being said, Knights Radiant can definitely still go for a kill lane if they opt in for something like a Nautilus or another melee engage support. Nico is actually another option. That you can definitely pressure this Smolder Nami lane, who is really susceptible to something like ganks. And Nico, in this case, can go for a Pop Blossom, help the jungler out, or maybe even go for a 2v2 trade, as looks like Aatrox will be the response, or blind pick, I guess. Oh, sorry, it's the jungler. It's been a
Yeah,
while.
I mean, technically, could see Gwen jungle and Aatrox mid, but Aatrox jungle, of course, getting a good bit of play here in season 26, or season 16, rather. But, I mean, there's a lot of strong mages still available on the side of Weehawken 1, and Rise is going to be their selection there in the mid lane.
Okay, I think I know what's going on. So, my mistake. This Scion is not the top laner. I believe this is actually going to be Havoc on the mid lane Scion.
Oh, yeah, he did pilot it week 1, yep.
And it will be Tavern Drunk on the Aatrox jungle. And then Gwen will be going over to the top lane. So we'll see a Ryze versus Sion in the mid lane, where it's likely just gonna be Ryze pushing in 24/7, looking for roams, as Sion will just be kind of clearing the wave, getting some HP on his W passive, and then maybe every now and then you'll see this choo-choo train come down the river to either mid or top, or sorry, bot or top lane. Will be an interesting dynamic.
Yeah, I mean, in week one, Knights Radiant did play Scion in their kind of composition that was very similar to the game one with Brand, Zyra, Jin, who's just making space for a lot of damage dealers across the composition. This time, he's kind of getting out of that maybe tough Varus matchup into Rise Amumu. He can pretty comfortably just stack MR and keep on chugging there for the Scion. So opens up the possibility for another carry performance, of course, from Tavern Drunk being able to take carry option in the jungle.
Yeah, I think overall, definitely gonna be a interesting matchup. I'm not exactly quite sure how We Heckin' One, plays out the game. They have two really strong scalers with that Smolder and the Varus top if he's going the what's it called lethal tempo build. Uh, it can also be really strong as a split pusher, especially into something like a Scion. So I don't know. I actually don't really know what to expect for this game. It's very strange comps from both sides.
Yeah, I mean, some spicy things in there like the Amumu and the Smolder. You know, have to see how those play out if they can just keep on farming, get the Smolder to 2025 sacks, get this Rise 2-3 items before the Gwen maybe tears them shreds or the Nico lands a 5-man Pop Blossom. So see how the game plan pans out for We Heckin' One if they can bring us to a game number 3.
Yeah, I think a slow game is a good game for We Heckin' One, as a lot of ranged ADCs on that side. But Knights Radiant, I think they'll be a lot more explosive, as you mentioned, with that Nico Pop Blossom. All of their characters are fairly short range. They want to get into like fighting distance of We Heckin' One. So I'm gonna see hopefully a lot of ultimates being burned, and maybe some flanks or maybe the Aatrox or I don't know, some interesting ult angles from the Scion. With that, I guess we'll be going into a small spectator delay. Hopefully this time, no issues with the lead client, as we'll see you in just a bit. Hello and welcome back to DMV Rivals Winter 2026, as I probably have to shut up soon since this bot lane bush is always a big point of action.
Yeah, the double Sivir, of course, trying to get on in there. Nice job lining up the tangled barbs, and a decent start here for the side of Knights Radiant, as this was the bot lane where we didn't quite see how it happened, but they got completely rolled for the first 10 minutes of the game. But this time, double ranged, they're getting off to a much better start.
Yeah, I think whenever you see a Nico inside a lane, it's very likely that's going to be kind of a heavy 2v2 skirmishing type of lane. Nico obviously has a lot of poke, has a really strong CC combo with her E. And I'm kind of interested to see in this case how both junglers react to this bot lane, knowing the fact that this 2v2 lane will be quite volatile, um, as both of them start towards the top side, probably will be making their way down.
Does feel like Knights Radiant have that power early in this bot side. Keep push up, harass a scaling pick in the Smolder, and meanwhile on the other side of the Rift, you've got Fire on the ranged top laner of the Varus, going to combat some of Barrier. He's going to be able to wear down this Aatrox and continue pressuring for his team on the other side of the map.
Yeah, it's a really interesting case. It's like one of the very few games where both the mid and top lane, sorry, the bot and top lane are volatile. The mid lane, not much is probably going to be happening. It's going to be the Scion looking to farm. As I say that, quite a lot of damage being traded onto Havoc. But he has a Doran shield. The Ghost actually buffed.
Oh, he's getting low. The Ghost flash in from Nightstone, and it's a solo kill for first blood.
All right, why did I open my mouth? I mean, like,
I mean, 2 seconds turnaround time is pretty good, as Hectic is now snared up on the Nico Q. But yeah, Nightstone showing that the Rise doesn't have to wait too long to get going, and now Q3 hits onto Fire. Conqueror is there for McPherson, and that Varus flew too close to the sun. A solo now for the side of Knights Radiant in the top side.
wow. Yeah, even though the stats are looking good, I mean, he did get hit by the W. So Fire LaFleur was just dragged back in, and Human McPherson, with all the space available, able to land some Qs onto him, and will be a clean solo kill up there. And that'll definitely help reduce the pressure of the ranged top lane into melee matchup that every top laner just despises.
Yeah, Human McPherson did index into those resolve runes, as now Nightstone might be in trouble. Tavern Drunk immune from the bandage toss, but Havoc gonna line up a Deathsmang Smash, force away the flash, and maybe they can turn a Mumu into Mash. Just another auto or two. Havoc trying to continue chasing in, hits the Roar of the Slayer, and finishes the job. But now Fire LaFleur trying to get involved. Human McPherson not able to hit any sweet spots that time. And so Tavern Drunk has to try to get involved. Nice use of the Shroud to evade the hail of arrows, stacking up for another Q. But the flash away and the fade away shot from Fire gets him a double.
Yeah, I have no clue what happened in that sequence. Like, it looked as though Human McPherson was hitting the top lane turret, trying to get a trade, or trying to get a little quick plate. But somehow the fight extended over towards the mid lane, or both of them walked back down. And it looks like Human McPherson wanted to go for the kind of the 1-for-1, as Tavern Drunk was trying to just finish the scuttle. Um, Definitely an interesting sequence, as both teams pretty happy for themselves. Forest top now getting 2 kills. Nightstone also getting that solo kill earlier. Means that the solo laners are quite strong.
Yeah, it does feel like Human McPherson was just a bit too overconfident after one solo kill, forgetting that he is still dealing with a very strong champion in the Varus. If you don't hit those sweet spots, it is not going to end well. Fire now in a much better spot than he found himself in just a few minutes ago, as the Swifty boots to make sure he doesn't get grabbed by Aatrox. Excuse me. Now Sparky's is getting very low as the Flap comes in from Hectic. The Smolder wants to chase them in. The fadeaway shot will get it done. And with Blue hit by the Aqua Prison, he is not going to get anything back.
Wow, really insane kill onto Hectic. Really playing aggressively, knows his limits. Burning both summoners, so will use a lot of resources to get that kill, but a kill onto Smolder at 5 minutes is definitely not something you want if you're the side of Knights Radiant. And yeah, we saw last game, Hectic did have 5 kills,
Oh,
actually,
a
solo kill might be happening.
nice hit on the chains to hit the Umbral Dash, and now Human Person is still not able to find any sweet
Oh
spots on the
my!
Qs, but the healing from the auto is massive. It's solo kill for solo kill, blow for blow, as now Tavern Drunk is down in the bot lane, but I mean, he's just going to get bandage tossed up. I'm not sure how we expected this to go, but it's going to go poorly as Icky is now looking for another Q angle as Nightstone Realm warps in just to walk himself out.
And it is getting worse and worse. Not only the fact that Nightstone and Fire LaFleur got another 2 rounds of solo kills, but also Hectic is the recipient of that kill onto Tavern Drunk. So now all 3 lanes have a pretty substantial lead over their opponent. And for being basically this kind of scaling comp, I mean, you have a Smolder on your team. Now is Accelerated can get a lot more stacks with that Caulfield's Hammer, giving him the CDR. I mean, right now, if you're Knights Radiant, you have to just put the brakes on the train. You have to find these angles with maybe some team play. Have that Scion ult over. As we
Oh,
see
but now
top
Tavern
lane.
Drunk wants to hit the needlework. He's missing his shots, though. But eventually the CC is going to be there, and Fire LaFleur is going to be chopped to pieces. Third kill in for the Aatrox. But I do want to circle back to that bot lane, right? Because in game number 1, we saw Hectic get 5 kills on the Yunara. They kept on killing them in the 2v2, but it didn't translate to the fights. They weren't able to win the game. And we weren't able to see the Yunara really pop off. I was curious to see how Hectic was going to respond to that in this game. Was he going to say, all right, dude, my team sucked. I'm going to play something even more aggressive. We're going to play like Lucian. We're going to play Callista or something and try to hammer home an advantage again? Or are we going to try to go something a bit longer game, which ended up being the choice on the Smolder, where even still, they're doing well in the lane. They're getting Hectic to a position where he can perhaps redeem what was a game that he couldn't carry, let's put it, in game number 1.
Yeah, I mean, he's not exactly on the Lucian or Callista, but he for sure feels like he's playing like it. The aggressiveness with the E is definitely showing. I think right now it's on Knights Radiant to kind of make use of these flashes. You saw a really nice pick with Tavern Drunk walking up towards the top lane. Actually, another
Oh,
fight.
but again, another grab on the Aatrox chains as the World Ender is trying to close the gap with the Boots of Swiftness, providing a good amount of distance, but nowhere near enough as he clips him on the Q2. And pretty sure all of Human McPherson's kills, except for one, have been a solo kill.
Yeah. I don't know what's going on this top lane, but it's solo kill on both sides, back and forth. As mid lane, Havoc, he's just trying to survive here. But yeah, as I was saying, you have to really look at these flash timers. Bot lane, Hectic, almost. The flash timer almost coming back up. When you have these resources being spent, it's really kind of on Havoc and Tavern Drunk to try to make a play happen. Obviously, with the Gwen jungle, it's kind of, your options are a bit limited.
Oh, we've got the train rolling into the mid lane, though, as that's going to be Nightstone knocked in the air. Realm Warp should be able to get himself out, just barely, but now flash in from the Amumu. Doesn't find the first bandage toss, will find the second into the Curse of the Sad Mummy, and it's a sad time for the bot lane of Knights Radiant.
Yeah, really nice response play there. They saw Tavern Drunk opened up in the mid lane, so they know that spot lane play is free. Icky, landing a very nice ult there. And I think Jared Blue down here is not exactly safe. I mean, he's half HP, does have the barrier, so he's able to sustain some damage. We'll have to see whether We Heckin' 1 will just leave, and looks like Smolder or Hectic will just be backing up. But yeah, I think good plays on both sides. I was saying that Havoc and Tavern Drunk don't have that many options, and then a split second later, we see them making a play mid. So I'm liking the aggression on both sides, and kind of the pace is good, you know?
Yeah, I think we kind of expect Havoc to just kind of do what we just saw there. Use all his abilities, clear out the wave, go back to his tower, do it again. But that time he was able to set up some action onto the Rise. They get the Summoners, they get the Realm Warp. But on the side of Nightstone, has got that Roa now completed. Will get that stacking up for his ability to scale up alongside this Smolder.
Yeah, a lot of first items being completed. I think ADCs on both sides, mid laners on both sides. You see the Eclipse in the top lane for the Aatrox is definitely big for him. And we'll see as that transitions over to the Dragon 45 seconds from now, how these kind of power spikes really uh, come into place, as every single time you get hit by the Essence Reaver with a Smolder, you'll definitely take a bit of damage.
Hey, I mean, but if I'm Jared Blue and Sparkies, I'm saying, hey guys, we're on track. Like, enemy bot lane, 3-0, he'll be 5-0 eventually. We'll win it just like last game. Just hold on. But definitely still feeling good for the side of We Heckin' One with the more scaling composition being at a pretty even state. We'll see if they can keep that going as objectives are going to spawn here with Dragon in 5 seconds. Or excuse me, is that no, that is
It
Dragon.
will be the Dragon, yeah. It's like the spectate system. Not quite working great on this patch, but Hectic getting quite aggressive. We saw Icky trying to make a move down there as well. Showed for a second, and it's like they will just be collapsing back onto the Dragon, but Havoc, as the lane pushed out, will be walking down here.
Oh yeah, now Nightstone trying to converge onto that flashless rise, but the tidal wave on the bot side, Pop Blossom is not gonna pop soon enough. Hectic finds the kill, he'll be able to find the second. Meanwhile, on the other side, Icky is taken out by the needlework. Nightstone wants to re-enter as Havoc and Tavern Drunk now in a whole lot of trouble as Hectic makes his way over to the other side of the fight. Gets hit by the Death Smack Smash, but no worries at all for the little baby dragon. Not able to get that last shot through the shroud, but it is still a convincing fight win and likely a dragon. They are a bit low and don't have a jungler, so still good stuff from the side of We Heckin' One.
Alright, Shiv. Hectic, alert, he's 5-0.
Oh no. Oh,
You know
no.
what that
it's
means.
It's the lose condition. It's the lose condition.
I mean, this happened last game as well. I think surely at this point, with how strong everyone is on the map.
Oh, whoa, that is a
thumbs up emote. Just
bit of a thumbs up, which, you know, feels a bit interesting when you're down 2 levels. Been so like 3 times, but you take what you can get with the BM here from Fire. And I think that was one of the aspects that I was a bit surprised of with that fight. The fact that they had the TP available on the Aatrox, no TP on the Varus. As Havoc, though, they're back to the Dragon. He's just going to zone them all away. Icky is not going to be able to get back for the smite. But now here comes Nightstone around the bend, ghosting forward. He gets a lot of damage down with the Essence Flux. But the Gwen is able to find the first kill of the fight. Smolder, though, still very healthy. Looking for some shots here with the Qs, with the Ws, and Nightstone doing the same. They're able to trade it back 1 for 1, but Dragon to the side of Knights Radiant.
Yeah, interesting stuff. It looks as though We Heckin' One wanted to go for a quick Dragon sneak. Ended up leashing it over to the side of Knights Radiant, but they do end up getting a fight for themselves and getting a kill as well. So overall, not the worst thing. And I think once again, the fact that they did get that first Dragon earlier really delays any kind of soul timer, so gives them some time to scale up with that Rise, Rod of Ages, as well as the Smolder stacking. So losing 1 Dragon overall, not the bad. Sorry, not the worst. As meanwhile, top lane, it looks as though Human McPherson was able to eventually get that turret up there. So, kind of progressing his lead. So, some split map decisions going on.
Given that you feel that We Heckin' One are pretty comfortable with their scaling, pretty comfortable letting this game drag on, what would you like to see from the side of Knights Radiant to try to maybe push the issue here in this mid game?
Yeah, I think it's kind of all on to Tavern Drunk and Human McPherson here. I think the fact that your Aatrox is so strong, you need to leverage his strength. That could come in multiple ways. Either you can kind of play for the side lane, look more for like this tier 2 turret with maybe a Herald play. As
yeah, it feels like Nightstone was maybe looking for some kind of Realm Warp down here with the Nami. But they just pass it along. No one really heading up to that top side to meet the Aatrox, but Spark, yeah, what? We're not going to flash. Now Aqua prisoned up. Tidal Wave roars on through with Mom alongside. Hectic is dominating 6-0 as Tavern Drunk trying to get something back in response to the last bit of the needlework. Not enough, and there's the curse from Icky to keep his ADC alive until he decides to die on his own terms. It is 2-for-1 favoring the side of We Heckin' 1.
Okay, well, it was a shutdown though. I mean, the Smolder was 6-1 or 6-0, so nice picking there. Another issue though is Smolder now completed his second item at 15 minutes in the game. Once again, just will advance the stacking. But overall, not bad. I mean, Blue does get some access to this turret, top lane, even McPherson doing his thing.
Yeah, hits a lot of his Qs, but with the Hex Tech plate, Fire LaFleur can actually tank those up decently well. Now going to get some assistance from the side of Nightstone, assuming McPherson going to try to run this one out. Has Havoc laying in fog, and they can't quite connect the Q onto fire, but still a very rough spot for Human McPherson. Flash in to secure the kill, and now Havoc in a 1v4. Sion's very tanky. He's going to try to ride the train out to the northeast, and he will. So Havoc showed up, let his teammate die, and then got away.
Hey, that's some good driving though. But yeah, you can kind of see the issue. Even though Human McPherson is 4 kills, has a lot of gold on the Aatrox, it's just so hard to play up and go for these 2 turrets, go for some plays, maybe get some picks, just because the Realm Warp is available. Night Stun. I mean, it just walk up, has the Ghost even if he needs to, just full sends with it, and they get that quick pick. Blue on the other side, old kind of cross map, take a tier 1 turret for himself as well, so some recovery down in the bot lane, as this Herald is now spawning. We'll have to see if both teams opt in for this or if it will just be a give.
Yeah, I think given that you've got 2 items on the Rise, even if they are scaling guns, you got 2 items on the Smolder. Feels like We Heckin' 1 should be pretty comfortable taking any fight they can at this point. But I think in that first game, we talked so much about how fed Hectic was and how his Yunara looked like it was primed to pop off. The same can be said for Nightstone. He built up a pretty sizable lead on the Orianna in game number 1. He was strong enough to carry, and now needs to ghost away here as he's strong again in game number 2, dishing out the damage onto Tavern Drunk, forcing the Gwen W. Gonna jostle for vision with 20 seconds till the dragon.
Yeah, it's kind of interesting. I think both junglers may have anticipated that, you know, this Herald might just be going to the opponent. I mean, if you decide a We Heckin' 1, I mean, Aatrox is up there, but I think Nightstone might be in a bit of position there. He's going to get caught out.
Yeah, he's gonna get zoned away,
Wow.
but they can't connect the CC. Ult for ult. Realm Warp gets Nightstone out to safety.
I mean, 2 pretty big cooldowns being burned, though. The Scion ult and the Realm Warp being used. Tavern Drunk trying to get some vision down there as Human McPherson has the TP. It's really eyes on him.
Yeah, now a lot of damage onto Icky as Tavern Drunk wants to get that needle going. Icky's able to get away. Tidal Wave in the choke alongside Mom. TP's using
in
from both top laners. And here comes Human McPherson around the flank. The World Ender is ready, but he's rooted down. Finds a Q2. Getting very low. Can't get the flash Q3. Plop Blossom hits onto 2, but there's no real follow through. As now Havoc has to try to tank up everything he can, but the bandage toss, the chase in, the curse of the sad mummy, locking them all up, leaving them, the Hectic and Nightstone, to just pump out the damage. The zombie Scion isn't going to achieve much of anything. We Heckin' 1 with the 2-1 advantage, and now they're looking for more. Sparky's forced a Proto Belt away, but Nightstone is giving chase. Has some speed on the rise. Tavern Drunk re-entering with that W. The scissors get the job done. Fire on the backside, able to find not 1 but 2 kills. But Tavern Drunk's going crazy on the Gwen. Snips them into ribbons. And now it's Gwen versus Varus. Human McPherson has respawned, but he's not going to be able to make his way to the fight. Tavern Drunk evades the piercing arrow. Fire is low on mana, and now Tavern Drunk's just going to take the fight. The barrier's up. Can the Q3 come down? Yes, it can! An unofficial quadra in what seemed like a lost fight for Tavern Drunk.
The Mumu's here, though. Icky might try to play this.
Oh, he's going to hit the Q. But there is Human McPherson here to run interference. Needlework is even back up. Icky expected too much from Lil Old Amumu. And things swinging heavily back towards Knight's Radiant.
I mean, what in the world? I mean, the camera panned away, and then suddenly it pans back, and Tavern Drunk has a triple kill for himself. And towards the end, I think just made use of the fact that he's able to heal off his items, go for that snip, and then eventually also take down Fire LaFleur. Icky just didn't have enough damage to get through the Gwen. I mean, healing. And Tavern Drunk suddenly goes from 3-3 to 7-3. Will be a quite strong of a threat on Knights Radiant. And we kind of joked about, Hectic reaching the 5-0 power spike, but it is kind of turning around for the side of Knights Radiant.
Yeah, we will see Nightstone be able to assert himself in the side lane. That Roa is fully stacked. He's got more than enough threat here on the rise. But yeah, I mean, Tavern Drunk he carried the last game very well on the Brand, looking to do the same on the Gwen. And when you look at fights like that, like we look at the comp that Knights Radiant are playing with, very short range. You have the massive root and stun of the Amumu to use if people get on top of your carries. That times it's used very aggressively to try to lock down extra kills. So that when the Gwen enters, they did not have a great way of dealing with her. And Nightstone and Hectic were not able to do all that they could.
Yeah, and in the future, you're going to have a lot of these beefy boys walking up for you. Havoc and Human McPherson will be able to screen a lot of the damage as Evan Drunk up here.
That's another play, but this time the Realm Warp is not going to get Nightstone to safety. 8 kills for the Gwen. Tavern Drunk feeling quite unstoppable.
Yeah, I just want to say, this guy recalled, full bottom Nashor's Tooth, full bottom Nuclear Large Rod, has 10 stacks on the Dark Seal. He's feeling confident enough to start up the Baron here.
Yeah, I mean, Baron is a new threat here in the season. He got some more shred. He stole that from Otacon. So teams do need to be careful about early starts.
They see it.
Tavern Drunk is sticking on it. That's an interesting ward that's looking for the angle. Hits a 2-man root. Amumu's into the pit. Gonna get the curse down. Do they have the damage? Bear is trying to contribute over the wall. Finds 1 kill with the Baron. Okay. Goes the way of Tavern Drunk. Now on the back line, Havoc's zombie is even creating space. But I think the side of Knights Radiant are more than happy with the Baron.
Okay, I saw the Varus notification, and for a second I thought Fire LaFleur was able to steal the Baron. But yeah, a really close call there. 2k on the Baron. Both junglers are inside of the pit. It's kind of a game of chicken as to who is going to smite first. And it will actually be somehow the Baron going over to the side of Knights Radiant with that risky play as Fire LaFleur.
Maybe it's another kill. Tavern Drunk. We talk about this top lane quest enabling top laners like, oh, they can get all this experience. They're going to be level 20. Tavern Drunk's the highest level in the game. He's above both top laners. He's above his own top laner by 2 levels. And he continues to just kill whoever he sees whenever he wants to.
Yeah, it's not even close. You saw him walk up towards Fire LaFleur in the top lane. Fire LaFleur didn't even opt into flashing. He knew he was dead. There's no way he's going to escape. As, looks like the side of WHW, I mean, they're still playing down here. They want to get set up for this dragon. Hectic. It's a really slow game. We haven't really seen him in a long time, but now we'll see. He's out. On 260 stacks, so it does have the evolution. But right now, I mean, Human McPherson having some breathing space. He saw Nightstone towards the bot lane, knows he's not going to get Realm Warped on. So we'll just be able to push up into Fire LaFleur up here with the Baron. As the rest of the team is kind of setting up for a pick in the bot side.
Sparky's doing due diligence, clearing out the wards before this dragon. Curious to see if WHW elect to fight at all or poke their nose around as we're going to have Human McPherson hit all his Qs, but Fire LaFleur able to just walk to the blast plant and retreat.
Yeah, there will be him resetting. He will be here for time for Dragon. We're kind of interested to see what Human McPherson does here. They do have an option of just sending Human McPherson up there and playing for that tier 3 top lane turret. But I think this Dragon is on everyone's mind. He's even walking down here quite early without the TP. As both teams are getting set up, WHW has some nice vision control of the bot side. They kind of want to hold the position. It's Hectic. Try to get some poke down. And they're playing into Baron. Tavern Drunk wants to go
Tavern
forward.
Drunk actually going aggressive. Needles coming out, and Kelly just gets shredded, but the Gwen's down as well. That's a massive part of the lead, as now Icky finds the root. They find the damage off the Human McPherson. Fire trying to go forward, look for the piercing arrow onto Blue. It's not enough damage, but Hectic.
Oh, wow.
Not quite enough, but here comes Pop Blossom. An aggressive Realm Warp from Nightstone leads to his own demise. Maybe his junglers as well, as Havoc is soaking up everything he can, but the max out damage from both carries rends him asunder. Amumu was able to get out on the top side So it's just Jared Blue alive.
Yeah, Tavern Drunk, I think, was feeling a bit too good. Tried to go for more, went under the turret. But that's the thing with Gwen. Even though you're really strong into these close range characters, like the Amumu and Rise can't really do much to you, but these ADCs will actually start chipping you down. I think Hectic with the Smolder did get a big burst onto him, and
Oh, and now Jared
Jared
Blue
Blue
got
got
pretty
locked away.
aggressive.
Oh, they're
Maybe thought
TPing
he
in
could
as
just.
well.
Yeah, the Chains Corruption are mistimed, but Human and McPherson still has to expend a flash. And with the speed, the Amumu trying to close the gap. Hectic just saying, guys,
Please,
my friend the
get the
Dragon's here.
dragon.
Just take this one, please. As it was Tavern Drunk almost looping around for a steal. Will be second Dragons now fire the floor. Could be in trouble, and this time has to contend with more than just the Aatrox. Tavern Drunk now with 11 kills, and they may try something more. But with Nami backing up Nightstun, he's not in too much danger.
Yeah, to be honest, I don't know who's gonna win this game. Everyone is going back and forth. We started off with We Heckin' One having a really strong lead. All three lanes were winning. And then suddenly Tavern Drunk got that quadra kill. But now, the game has kind of shifted back. We Heckin' One got a dragon for themselves, equalized the gold lead. Hectic still stacking as we see
Oh no,
insane damage.
Human McPherson able to get out alive, but support is not gonna look the same. The smolder damage is definitely starting to get pretty scary as the Gwen is rooted up. The last of the Krugs able to help the Bandage Toss connect, and now Tavern Drunk could be in danger here. Aatrox trying to join back up, but the Curse of Sad Mummy roots him down. The Q doesn't connect. Hectic is going to fall, but Tavern Drunk gives away another shutdown. Havoc pushing away on the bot side, but Fire is here to at least defend a little bit. Chains of Corruption do connect. But we do see 3 dead on the side of Knights Radiant.
Yeah, the kills are going to We Heckin' One, but it looks like Knights Radiant are still making cross-map plays. Havoc, despite all of what's going on the map, was able to push down for that tier 2 turret, get 700 gold for himself. And the Scion, we haven't really seen him too much. I mean, Tavern Drunk was kind of this kind of star of the show. As now up to 3 items will be quite tanky and will be a pretty formidable front line for the team.
Yeah. I do want to call out that in that game 1, as we saw the side of Knights Radiant claw back into that game, a lot of those kills found their way onto Jereble, so that even though he had a rough lane, he was able to get back in it, collected a bunch of kills on the Jhin, and was a threat in those fights. This time, all the kills have been going to the Gwen. It is not a split economy. It is not trickling down. And the Sivir has at least gotten to that 3rd item, but it is going to take a good bit more, especially when the Smolder is a half item up, has the stacking capabilities of his passive.
Yeah, you're on point. I think at this point, the item breakpoints really do matter. I'm looking at the Smolder, for example. He has a BF sword. He has that crit cloak. Needs only 800 more gold before the Infinity Edge, but Baron has spawned dragons in 2 minutes. He's not going to be able to reach it. So at this point, the ADCs are fairly equal in terms of items. And then Tavern Drunk did complete his 4th item, has the Void Staff, so we'll be able to go through a lot of those tanks. Maybe the Amumu will be shredded a bit more faster. So both sides right now do have some very strong items, and I think this Baron will be a big pressure point.
Yeah, for now we see each team just with 1 control ward by that purple worm. Neither team really on soul point, so could see some kind of trade of Baron for a relatively meaningless 3rd dragon.
Yeah, I want to say I really like how Fire LaFleur was just playing the last 30 seconds. No flash available. We saw Tavern Drunk, Human McPherson, and Havoc all in the same area towards that bot side. If they get a pick there, you can easily open that up into a tier 3 turret or an inhib. Doesn't really matter if the Baron is started. You can just straight up get as much as you want. In this case, looks like a quick blue buff contest. We'll still be going over to Tavern Drunk. Both teams are now starting to eye up the area. Dragon is in a minute, but this Baron is still the eye of the prize.
Yeah, like you said, we're not going to see Smolder hit that item breakpoint, but the Rise certainly has Rabadon's and Actualizer in tow for the Rune Mage. Going to be an interesting battle here to see if the Gwen can find her priority targets, stick to them, and shred them. as the teams will just tend for mid lane before trying to dictate which objective they want to go to.
Yeah. Looks like the Baron will be started off. Tavern Drunk does have a lot of damage for it. It's just going to be a 2-man. And there's no vision on this quite yet. They might see the particles, but Nightstun susses something out, goes for that ghost.
Okay, there's some damage onto Nightstone, but Icky is in on the backline. They just blow up the Aatrox. Baron's been secured, but at what cost? They've already lost 3. But here comes Tavern Drunk with the needles, just mows through 3 of them. And with the train on the backside, Hectic is barely able to stay alive. And now it's just Havoc. And there's not much Havoc he's going to create on the Scion. The Juggernaut is not going to be looking good. There's the execute. There's the ace. As Hectic Smolder stands tall.
Yeah, the Baron was secured, but no one is alive for it anymore, and the dragon is up, so this could just be a 3rd dragon going to the side of We Heckin' 1. It looks like you saw what was gonna, like, for the side of Knights Radiant, you kind of understand what's happening. You have 3 members that are peeling, making sure that the Baron is taken, but maybe they went a bit too far as Nightstun somehow opened that up just by ghosting, getting that Rune Prison onto a key target, and then the fight just played out from there.
They will reward themselves with a dragon as well. The gold basically dead even, but as we've been talking about, the gold gets a lot more use on the rise on the Smolder than it may on guy, especially like the Scion. He's trying to scrap together what he can, and we saw if Hectic gets opportunities to just click a few buttons on him, that Scion does not look tanky at all.
Yeah. I think if you give Smolder some time, especially now with the Infinity Edge completed, we'll be able to melt through any target. But yeah, we'll have to see. It was a very disjointed fight. We can't exactly say it was a pure 5-on-5 from Knights Radiant. Tavern Drunk and Havoc entering quite late. Yeah, some huge item breakpoints. Deathcap also completed onto Tavern Drunk, so you saw him shred people in that last fight. Almost turned around in that 2v5. He'll be doing a lot more damage now. And also Deathcap completed onto Nightstun, the fruits of his labor in that pick.
We'll see the tower go down on top side. Havoc, not much threat he can put on a Hex Plate Varus, and now he is getting chased on down. Does have the Soul Furnace, but that health is getting low very fast. Fully charged S-Bank Smash is nice into the train, but here comes Icky around the corner. And Fire is taking a good bit of damage from these minions, but I think he should be able to seal the deal. Another Soul Furnace isn't going to come up in time, but Tavern Drunk has looped around. They're able to find 1 kill on the Varus, and maybe this is an overextension. That is 50-second death timers. As Human McPherson is looking for a flank angle, they should be able to recall out. 2 dead for still 40-plus seconds. Human McPherson lurking around. The Nami did cancel her back, but the Smolder and Rise, importantly, are back to clear the waves.
Yeah, it looks like Human McPherson wanted to go for a flank there, but couldn't actually see where the members are. This will be the tier 3 turret being under pressure. The Gwen, snip, is shredding the turret. Pop Blossom.
Oh, Pop Blossom is there. They find Hectic, and he is gone. The scales have been snipped away, but the Rise still stands. It's a triple for Nightstone, but Tavern Drunk cuts him apart. It's an ace. Tavern Drunk, the LOL member on the Rift.
He's going more. Minions, there's 3 seconds on the Varus.
He's got 2 seconds. Varus is up. Here comes a TP from Havoc. Those towers are gone. Tavern Drunk is going to do it all by himself.
What?
The Nexus explodes, and it's a 2-0 for Knights Radiant.
I'm sorry, what? Is he playing rock, paper, scissors with the Nexus? Like, did you see how fast that got burnt down? What is...
Insane stuff. As Tavern Drunk just does it himself there on the Gwen. It was Sparky's getting a key Pop Blossom down, finding Hectic, and then he just exploded in the blink of an eye. The Rise not able to do it all himself, and in a roller coaster of a game 1, it is Knights Radiant to finish the job in the end.
Yeah, what a crazy series. Like, just back and forth on both sides. You cannot predict who's gonna win. I mean, your ADC can be 7-0 and you will lose the game. I don't know. nothing made sense, but it made for such a great series with how back and forth everything was. Well played to both ends. I can imagine just in the VOD review, one fight, if it goes a bit differently, will easily just seal the game. But man, the passionate gameplay from both sides, I think we just saw it. I don't know.
Yeah. Amidst all the fireworks, it will be Weeheckin 1 unfortunately falling to 0-2 down in the Swiss stage as they try to figure out how to stabilize after they had their chances here in this series, but does mean it is 2-0 to the side of Knights Radiant, feeling good about their odds here to start DMV rivals.
Yeah, we'll see if we can get an interview with one of their players. As we'll see. I guess would you give an MVP to someone? I think it's
I
pretty
think we know the
obvious for
answer.
me.
I think we know the answer.
Yeah. Let us see. I think Tavern Drunk really popped off in both games. On that brand in the game one was just really strong in the team fights, got them their kind of comeback lead as he was able to make a lot of plays across the map. Don't
Yeah.
quite know
I
if
do want
he's
to credit
there.
I do want to credit Human in Person as well. He was in rough spots just with the champion matchups in both games. Was able to find his angles though and find solo kills in that second game, make a good impact even if the actual champion picks in the early lane wasn't going to go his way.
Hmm. I think Tavern Drunk might not be here, so we'll see if we can just drag someone else in. I'll I'll ask around. But yeah, I think everyone on the team had definitely played well. You can say everyone had their low points as well. But despite that, I think they just kept strong with the confidence in their play. And no matter how far down they were able to overcome. Let's see if we can grab anyone. Any takers? Fish out of the pond. What if I just drag someone? Do you think they would mind?
Probably.
Oh, okay. We got a yes from Tavern Drunk. So let's see. Hello, hello. Congratulations on your 2-0 victory.
Uh,
Definitely, I don't think it was probably in the way that you imagined. So I guess could you just break it down from your perspective in the last game? Just that whole last Nexus push. I guess was the adrenaline just pumping through your veins?
Dude, yes, because Clash is almost. I can't lock in for Clash soon. So, yeah, that game needed to end as soon as possible. We just. Our comp was. Like, it was a tough game. It was a tough game, but all we needed was one Nico ult. That's literally all we needed to win. And we got it. And that's what happened. Smolder just got caught, and he couldn't do anything. I had too much gold from shutdowns, just from like random stuff. Can't lose at that point.
Yeah, what about that quadra kill towards the bot lane? I think it definitely broke open the game. So I
Oh my god.
I guess could you go
Them
through your
getting
mindset
dragons like
there?
that? Yes, dude. Yeah, that was. I'm gonna be honest. That was kind of pure luck. They kind of egoed Gwen a little bit at 1 HP, but that's fine. Gwen is immune, and they just died for nothing. So it was scary though when Var is barriered, but that was it.
Yeah, without a
He didn't
doubt.
have mana.
Shiv, you have any questions?
Not really. Because the league client hates us, can you describe in riveting detail, and
Mhm.
take as long as you need, the first 6 minutes of game number one that our viewers happen to miss?
Um, bro, that's so long ago. I don't
Hey,
remember what I was
memory
playing.
memory is an important quality of a champion.
Yeah, I just full cleared on brand on repeat. There's nothing really to do. I played for top. Balling. I have no idea what's going on balling. I was looking top all game, and all of a sudden, my teammates are struggling in bot lane a little bit. But they somehow ended up 2v2ing them with them having like a 1,000 gold lead somehow. I have no idea how to have him. We're gonna VOD review that at some point later during this week
Yeah,
before our
sounds
next
good.
game.
It was quite interesting to see because in both games, I mean, Hectic on the ADC was 5-0 at
Mhm.
at points in the game, but somehow just through map play, your team was able to kind of come back. So I guess are you
Everyone on our
always just
team
trying to
was
cross map, or what was kind of like the macro sense of both
that
games after
game.
you're
I
in
just
such a
really
strong
sorry,
deficit?
sorry, sorry for cutting you off over and
Oh, you're
over again.
fine.
I'm
Don't
so
worry.
sorry.
Dude, you're fine. You're fine.
Um, the first game, our draft, like that's in the same combo. I'm sorry, I don't want to leak it, but like it's fine. It'll get banned out. But Jin, Zyra, Brand, I don't know what they can do about it. All they do is just walk into us and just die. Like, and we had Ari Charm. We just had too much layers of CC for them to do anything. Like Mundo has his passive, but that's not enough. Um, so it's not Hectic's fault. Our comp was just honestly just better. I'm be honest for the first game, completely better.
Yes.
Second game, yeah. What? What's up? What's up?
Oh, you're good. You keep on going.
Um, yeah. First game comp. There's nothing really they can do. Um, yeah. No, sorry, I'm out of it.
No, no worries. I was just kind of curious about how is the team doing in general, since, for example, you have Human McPherson in the top lane, you have your French-Canadian duo with Blue and Havoc, and then
Hmm.
Sparky's in the support level. I guess how is like the team doing? Are they meshing everyone, or is everyone meshing well?
Yes, we were struggling in the beginning a little bit, but everything is good now. Our ADC is vocal with his support at all times, so I have no issues there. My top laner, I'm always looking at him, making sure everything's fine. Mid lane Havoc, bro, Havoc is just doing his own thing. He's just doing nothing. Just leave it to himself, and he's good.
Yeah, is it true that your team sometimes speaks in French?
Yes. Hey, but it's just like shortly, like just little bits there, here and there with
I see.
Havoc and Jerry Blue. When something bad happens, of course, the French comes out.
Merde. I don't know. We'll see.
I wouldn't know either. I don't know what they're saying.
Yeah. Shiv, any closing thoughts?
No, nothing from me. Great job from you guys today, and wishing you guys luck going into week 3.
Yeah, thank you.
That's good. See you.
Uh,
Hope I didn't cut him off, but any case, that'll be a wrap up for today. I will say, however, actually, maybe we can do this live. Uh, third week of Battlefy will be released. Let's see if I can just quickly get that set up and show on stream. Um, but if you do not see it, or if you don't have the ability right now, we will be publishing that in announcements as well. So with Knights Radiant getting a 2-0, they will now also be standings wise 2-0 inside of the bracket, as round 3 will be generated. And let's see if I can grab this quick photo, show on stream. One. All right, these are your matchups for week number 3. Obviously, with Swiss working the way it does, everyone will be matched with a fairly equally strength opponent. So if you went 2-0, you'll very likely be playing into another 2-0 team. If you suffered some 2 losses, had a rough start, then you will be facing other teams that are kind of going through the same struggle. As some interesting matchups I see already. We have, for example, I'm curious about the Shaitans. We'll be playing into Uta Enslaved. So we have Hoptech versus Dom, kind of like the DMV royalty, with both having, I believe, 2 or 3 plus wins. And then, yeah, some of these 2-0 teams, Knights Radiant versus Untitled, would be a good watch. Big Back Chuds versus Team Big Rat. A lot of spicy matchups going into week 3. So with that, I guess Shiv, anything you're looking forward to? Are you going to be able to survive this winter storm?
Uh, let's see. The temperature outside right now is -11. It's not too bad for night
Not bad,
time.
not bad.
I think I'll make it. The exploding trees in the Midwest, maybe that's a separate issue, but I think I'll be able to make it.
Yeah. Alright, well, we'll definitely see how this, all plays out. Thank you for joining us. Definitely stay warm throughout this, kind of winter storm that's happening across the country. Um, and yeah, have a very nice time. Well, that was us. That was it for us, so stay tuned for any future maps or sorry, future matches, and, be sure to schedule your game